I've been having some camera issues lately, so I'm deciding to do this video right now. As by some fluke, the camera's working now, so I can do the video. Anyway, so I just wrote a blog post and I posted it, and it was basically about people who tend to look at atheism as sort of like a pre-enlightenment battle cry that's kind of old news, and who cares about religion anymore, etc., etc. I can't delve into the depths of everything that atheism has to say, but I mean there are some truths that I think are largely ignored by people who don't think atheism has any validity. Now, atheism being, let's, for lack of a better word, militant atheism, one that actively goes after failed policies of religious belief, and even, governments that are intertwined with religious belief. I think atheists have, almost by default, have a lot to say about the misgivings and the shortcomings of religion as it affects the way people live. I mean, in more extreme senses, ISIS and other terrorist groups. These are realities. Religious extremism does exist. I don't know in what other way somebody who would doubt the arguments of atheism would expect extremism to be. Like, I mean, what ISIS and Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab and Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, and even citizens of countries where the culture is so tied down to extremist readings or fundamentalist readings of their holy books. These types of extremist institutions, but also extremist and fundamentalist acts of violence do exist. I don't know how else anybody that doubts atheism would classify those things but extreme religion. They tend to want to, instead of classifying it extreme religion, they tend to want to pull the religion away from it, lest they offend, their moderate counterparts or, people that are even conservatively religious, which is not the way forward. I mean, to talk about a battle cry for the Enlightenment, a way forward is through a very reasoned approach to what these antiquated systems of thinking, and they are antiquated systems of thinking because they do pull from books that are really, 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 really old. The way these systems need to be, reformed even, but I mean, ultimately, they shouldn't even be there. Or they should be studied, but from a very objective point of view, as opposed to a way to live your life. There's a lot of things. I'm not saying that we live in a utopia, but there are people that take these books to be true in the face of contradictory scientific, societal, the sciences and their findings, which we're better equipped to do now than we were, 1,400 years ago, 2,000 years ago, you name it, right? So I think it's important that we understand that, and as the way to move forward. There are people who will always, as I've said before, will always say that terrorism and extremism and fundamentalism is not even religion, which is a very dismissive and ignorant way to move ahead. I remember being religious once, getting taken in, and I was a young kid at the time. So I can imagine how belief can infect somebody. But there's people who are so secular and they've been secular for so long that they forget that certain people in the world hold religious belief very dearly. I can't say for sure. It would take more thinking to figure that out. But anyway, that's my video for today, and sorry about the weird lighting and everything. My room's feeling kind of all over the place right now. I should really do a cleaning or something. It's not that it's dirty. It just feels like it's disorganized. I gotta do something about that. Anyway, maybe I sweep or something. Anyway, that's my video for today. Have a good one. Bye.